Recorded live at 4 Triple Z Studios Brisbane on 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
With 10 years experience and over 500 episodes,
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture.
Want to reach out? Message us on Facebook at ZED Games AU.
Welcome to 4 Triple Z. We're Zed Games.
check.
You are listening to Zara, and with me in the studio is
Easy
and
Toby.
And it's a bit of an exciting episode tonight.
Massive hype episode.
Yeah. What are we hyped about, Easy?
I'm about E3.
E3. Oh, God. I didn't even get there.
I didn't even think about
Easy's E3.
That's
right.
E3.
I host that.
Oh, you
That's
should
my
probably
business.
be sitting. You should probably be sitting in the chair then.
Yeah, I run. I basically knew all about the announcements months and months ago.
Yeah.
And only just recently did I decide to put on this massive online exhibition of all these games. Yeah, from different companies like Ubisoft, Nintendo,
So
Xbox.
we've got you to
It's all
blame.
me, really.
Wow.
It's your fault.
I hadn't realized we had quite the star on this show.
Yeah, it's true. These are facts.
That's amazing.
That's not true. These are not facts. I have nothing to do with E3.
But we are talking about E3 today because
It's like the biggest event of the year.
true.
it's E3. It's been E3 season. It's just wrapped up, right?
It's
well,
pretty much. I mean, I think there's the Summer
trickle one.
Fest.
they sort of like
They
had a little bit of it. They sort of extended like the
And they'll keep doing it. It's a trickle.
yeah
Okay, we'll get a trickle and then it'll fart and we'll be fun.
yeah
We'll be done.
Yeah, we're in a trickle zone now.
yeah. But we got like I think probably the most important stuff, and the most important stuff is we've got some news. We've got a review, and we've got a discussion about E3 and what we're excited and looking forward
discussions.
to.
Yeah.
Come on, we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all got our own individual hype. So we're going to talk about, like, you know, what I really am hyped for, what Toby's really hyped for, what Zara's really hyped for. And, you know, we've all got different tastes. We have some similar tastes that we come together for, but ultimately we all have our flavour. So I'm excited I'm actually really pumped to see what you guys have selected as your most hyped games for E3 2021.
Hands together like I'm about to eat a delicious meal.
I've been drooling all week, just like, these games. These games.
But I think before we hop into that, we should hop into some news by the one and only Paul.
This week in gaming news. The Electronic Entertainment Expo, commonly known as E3, has come and gone for another year, and in its and other non-official events' wake, we have a mountain of game news and announcements. Summer Game Fest. Jeff Keighley's alternative E3 program ticked off the major events of the week, starting with an announcement of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Gearbox's high fantasy Borderlands spin-off starring Tiny Tina. A splattering of other announcements followed, including Jeff Goldblum introducing us to Jurassic World Evolution 2, Hideo Kojima announcing Death Stranding's director's cut for PS5, and finally the major reveal of footage from Elden Ring, the long-awaited new game by From Software in collaboration with the writer George R.R. Martin, which will launch January 19, 2022. Ubisoft hit the ground running, showing off gameplay for the latest Far Cry game starring Giancarlo Esposito, as well as the upcoming DLCs, which will allow players to play as the antagonist from several of the other games in the series, and includes a remastered copy of Blood Dragon. More details for the extreme sports game Riders Republic were shown, along with the PvE spin-off of Rainbow Six Siege Extraction, which will pit the operators against an alien force. A new version of Rocksmith was announced called Rocksmith Plus, a guitar playing and teaching service that will allow players to use their real instruments and their phone or microphones to connect. The game supports electric, acoustic, and bass guitar, and you can currently sign up to the beta for the service online. A sequel to the 2017 hit Mario plus Rabbids was announced, subtitled Sparks of Hope, with Mario and his strange collection of Rabbid doppelgangers going on a new cosmic-scale adventure. The final announcement for Ubisoft was a reveal of Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, a game set in James Cameron's Avatar universe made by Massive Entertainment, who are most well known for The Division. Microsoft started their event with the first footage of Bethesda's long-awaited RPG, Starfield. Whilst we are still yet to see gameplay from the title, we were given a glimpse at the universe we will be exploring and details that it is currently slated for release in late 2022 as an Xbox and PC exclusive. The Outer Worlds 2 was announced as early in development. Stalker 2 was shown off with a release of next year, along with sequels to Slime Rancher and A Plague Tale. Halo Infinite was confirmed to be released later this year, with the multiplayer being made free-to-play for everyone to enjoy. Forza Horizon 5 was shown with its new Mexican location. Sea of Thieves has a story-based crossover in the Pirates of the Caribbean universe coming very soon called A Pirate's Life, featuring Jack Sparrow and other characters from the film franchise. And the show finished with a reveal of Arcane's new game, Redfall, an open-world co-op shooter featuring magic, vampires, and a lot of style. Square Enix announced Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, a single-player third-person adventure where the player controls Star-Lord, leading his band of misfits across the universe. It is being developed by Eidos Montreal, best known for the modern Deus Ex games, and is set for release on October 26. There was also a look at Platinum Games' new live service game, Babylon's Fall, the new Life is Strange True Colors, and a reveal of the Final Fantasy action spin-off, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. Nintendo apologized that they had no details to share on Metroid Prime 4, but quickly followed up with a reveal of Metroid 5, which is also known as Metroid Dread, a title originally in development for the DS 15 years ago, which was cancelled due to technical limitations. Mario Party Superstars, a collection of boards and minigames from the N64 era, was announced, along with a remake of Advance Wars 1 and 2, titled Reboot Camp. Wario is back with WarioWare Get It Together, a new take on the microgame format with a focus on two-player games. We also got a closer look at Shin Megami Tensei 5's hellish version of the demonic Otherworld of Tokyo, which will see release in November. The Nintendo show closed with a look at some Zelda announcements. DLC for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, the remaster of Skyward Sword, which releases in July, and a new Game & Watch device that includes the original versions of The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, and Link's Awakening, along with an altered version of Vermin that includes Link. We finally got a glimpse at Breath of the Wild 2, which will see Link adventuring into the sky above Hyrule and utilize a multitude of new powers and tools. Now that the show is over, you can check out many of the games on both Steam and Xbox Live. The Steam Next Fest will run until June 22nd and includes hundreds of demos of unreleased games, while Microsoft has released 40 game demos from its ID at Xbox lineup. This week in game releases. On June 22nd, there is Dark Alliance for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One and PC, and Lily's Quietest of the Nights for Switch and PC, and the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official Olympic game for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, Stadia and PC. On June 24th, there's Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX for PS5, 4, Xbox One, Switch and PC, Legend of Mana for PS4, Switch and PC, and the Eternal Castle Remastered gets a release for PS5 and PS4. That's all this week in gaming news.
Thank you so much for that, Paul.
That was a monster amount of news to cover.
It's a lot.
Yeah, massive.
Wow, God, man.
So thank you, Paul.
Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome job. Pat yourself on the back.
So, just before we get into like the E3 stuff, real quick, I just want to quickly mention the game releases this week. Dark Alliance for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation, Xbox One, PC, so on June 22nd. That is actually also coming out on Game Pass. So if you haven't got a Game Pass subscription, I can tell you that would probably be more bang for your buck. You only need a PC, Windows PC, and or an Xbox to access that.
I'm hearing a small amount of hype in your voice.
I am. I'm quite excited to try it out. Especially, like, it's good. We're not actually sponsored by Xbox or any of these companies that we talk about. We're all, community people. But I'm trying to help people save some money because, I'm all about that with video games. You just get Xbox Game Pass and look, Paul would be proud of me right now. I know he would.
Not everyone has an Xbox, and there is a way to play Xbox games without an Xbox if you have a computer.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I like the Game Pass. It makes it a lot more accessible, which I really appreciate.
Yeah. I must admit the Alex Kidd in Miracle World is just bringing up nostalgia for me.
Is it?
Yeah, it's it reminds me so much of some of the games that I played when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I'm a nostalgia nerd. I love it. I'm thinking about getting that Zelda thing. I know it's going to be a rip.
You mean the Game and Watch device? Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I
everybody out
literally
there.
saw that crop up while I was watching the showcase, and I'm like, Toby. That's literally what I heard in my head was your name. I knew it.
It's like
I recently bought the Mario one, and when I saw that, I was like, but this one has 3 games. Mario only had 1. Why?
Damn it.
Damn. Oh no, it had 2. Sorry, but I still, I want it. It looks so.
And think of it this way: when Win grows up and he's able to like hold things, it's perfect size for a baby.
Yeah, for those people who don't know, Win is my bubba. Just had one.
That's right. Congratulations, Toby.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
No games for you right now.
But that'll lead into why the games that I chose from E3, because no longer can I choose games that will take up 100% of my...
Goodbye, WoW.
Goodbye, massively multiplayer online.
Oh my goodness, I just got so sad.
Yeah, there's so many games that I can no longer just... I need to pick up and put down.
Just wait until Win is, of age that he can play as well, and then you can have father-son
Then I'll be
bonding
able to
time.
play.
You can teach him to be the perfect support.
Yeah, well, I know he's going to be a tank. He's going to be the tank. I'll just say, now just run forward and shoot everything. I will heal you.
Okay, Padawan.
All right. This is Zed Games. You're here with Zara, Ez, and Toby.
Woot woot.
Yo.
And I sound far too chill for E3 hype.
And we just take that to a whole new level.
Yep, there we go. Energy's back.
Ooh, I don't like how
Yeah, you redlined. You peaked the microphone. It's fine. We're okay.
Okay. Sorry
The
about
hype
that,
just
Hype was too much.
volcanoed out of you.
Sorry.
All right,
Erupted.
Dial
That's
it
the
back
word.
down. We'll dial it back down. We're dialing it back down.
Sorry. We were just testing everything.
Yeah, we're stress testing this.
We're not actually on air. We're fine. It's just
It's all good. All right, so E3 is the season
To be
Jolly.
To be jolly.
Yeah, this is really the real Christmas.
Yes.
Yep.
For gamers, especially.
Steam sale?
It's basically what we put.
That's
I would say Steam sale is actual Christmas. E3 is when we start to figure out what we want for Christmas.
It's the catalog day.
Oh my gosh, it is!
It's catalog. You remember when you were a kid and the catalogs came in the mail?
Scholastic Book Fair?
Yeah,
Yes.
and or just before Christmas when all the catalogs came out and you went, oh, what do I want for Christmas? And you started going through all the catalogs,
and I go through with a big marker pen and I'd circle the things I wanted and I'd be like, Mom. It's you only get one. I'm like, damn it.
This is how I learned how to budget. I'll be this is how much you can have. And I'll be like, oh, okay, time to get the most
No
bang
budget
my
for
buck.
me.
This is where you learn how to find Mum's credit card and put it in and put it into your Nintendo eShop.
So now that you all have your parents' credit cards, what are we going to get?
That is a good question.
If we were hypothetically, and we do not encourage children to do this in any way, shape, or form, do not take your parents' credit cards.
Please read the fine print.
Yes. Parents, watch your credit cards. That's my other thing.
Yeah.
Ez, what are your credit card details?
They're on my credit card, if you're wondering.
What would you get with this hypothetical credit card situation?
Okay, all right. From E3, from the largest gaming announcement season of the year. So I have 4 games that I've selected to talk about. So I've got Tiny Tina's Wonder World, which is a Gearbox. If you know Borderlands series, this is basically a spin-off shooter-looter from the Borderlands series. It requires no prior knowledge of the Borderlands universe, so you don't need to have played any of those games to jump into this one. I'm actually relatively new to Borderlands, so this is very exciting for me, especially to see such an eccentric character like Tiny Tina, and there's going to be Butt Stallion, for anyone knows.
Wait, what?
Borderlands series is going to be Butt Stallion, and all this is expected to drop in 2022, so not this year, but next year sometime. So that's one of my big AAA game releases I'm hyped for.
She is.
What?
I love how crazy Tina is.
Yeah, no, she's a wild ride. So it should be some eccentric nature, all different shades of purple too. I liked the color vibe of the game. My other AAA game that I'm excited for is Halo Infinite. Both the free online multiplayer and the campaign.
They've done what?
Yeah. There's a free online multiplayer that is coming to Xbox, PC, and you'd be able to get it on
Halo
Steam
free.
and Game Pass as well.
No wonder everybody was talking about
It's exclusive.
how big that was.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic. Yeah, so basically it's all online multiplayer. I think you can do co-op and versus. I think it's like Battle Royale maybe kind of
It's
elements.
it's a bit more like Halo 3 in terms
Full
of
red versus blue world.
Yeah. The
Except
good
with good
old the good old days, except with better graphics. Yeah. And
Remastered.
more screen shake. That's what we want.
Yep.
So Master Chief is back with what appears to be a new Cortana in quotations. So I'm really excited to see more of his journey and her journey. They're going to fight more aliens. They're going to venture into more unknown threats. I'm really excited. I've been playing Halo since I was a kid on the very first Xbox, so I have massive nostalgic moments with this series. Even some of the cinematic that they played on the Xbox announcement was just gave me goosebumps because it's just really excited for it. Other two games that I have, which are just going to be mentions of two indie games from the Wholesome Direct, because as much as I love AAA games, I love indie games and I love little meaningful experiences. So there's one game called We Are OFK, which is a Making of the Band series, which is an interactive EP. So it's about dreaming, dating, and paying rent in Los Angeles. It's got lots of colourful sort of animations that remind me of Spider-Man Miles Morales, the animated movie. So that's the sort of visual we're thinking of there. And it's going to be sort of about making music. It's an interactive narrative. I'm really excited for that.
Sounds awesome.
That's
the
spring
sound effect
2021.
of it is amazing.
Yes. The voice acting sounds phenomenal. It sounds like it sounds and looks good.
Yeah. If you get onto that trailer, the music just in the trailer is amazing.
Yes, and they're also actually developed by Team OFK, which are an actual band. So
great publicity.
Yeah, so this is actually a really cool thing is watching a band or musicians take on the gaming medium to promote their EP.
That's great.
Yeah. And I also have another game, Woodo, which is a 3D puzzle game that's made with heart. It looks really wholesome. It's just sort of like a 3D puzzle where you build a room out of little animations and stuff, and you put things. It looks really sweet as well. That's next year, 2022 release expected. Yeah. What about you, Toby?
I love those ones. Those the Wholesome Direct was my big love affair. Because of the fact that I now have to go into games that I don't have a huge amount of time for, Wholesome Direct was perfect for me. But there's still an MMO in there in the Wholesome Direct that I loved. And that was a game called Book of Travels. And it's basically a make your own story RPG social game. It's hand-drawn, little one, and it looks beautiful and it looks slow and calm, but also still battly and dangerous at the same breath.
Yeah.
Kind of has...
By Might and Delight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just it was such a lovely little game that I heard it and went, I could make stories and make experiences in this, and it would just be wonderful.
It's a Japanese painting as well,
it's got a watercolor.
The watercolor, style.
Some other ones that I really loved from that is Venba, which is like a Indian cooking. I can't even pronounce this one. Dogone. Dordogne. But if you type that in, search for it, watch the video, it is beautiful.
Okay.
It's very slow, but again, a puzzly thing. But the big PC games other than that is, PC game was Despot's Game, which is kind of like an auto battler, idler, kind of fun, kill all the humans kind of game.
Yeah.
Just something,
Yeah.
something fun. And the other one that I really loved, the idea of being able to pick it up and put it down, WarioWare. They get it together. 200 mini games. Just something that I can play quickly.
Yeah.
And then
So much going on. So many
I'm
guns.
so excited. I have so many games that I'm excited about. I want to hear all yours now, Zara. Let's
That's
do this.
right.
back to E3.
Back to
E3.
You're listening to Zed Games at 4ZZZ. You're listening to Zara, Toby, and Easy.
Yo.
And I'm about to talk about my games that I'm pretty hyped for. So,
Hyperactive.
So Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, which I think a lot of people are pretty hyped about. I really enjoyed the first game. It's a stunning, immersive game, and I loved exploring and finding my own trails, puzzle solving, and uncovering the events of the past. So Breath of the Wild 2 is just going to take that up to the skies. So I'm pretty excited about that. And also there's like a whole lot of new mechanics that they showed in the trailer. It's only a little teaser, but like I'm tantalized.
Yeah. Water and reversing time always looks fun. Sorry, those were the two things that I saw.
Someone's a negative Nelly. It's my hype. My hype. Leave my hype.
Spicy in here.
I'm also really excited for Redfall because the trailer looked so cool. So cool. But I also I've been really appreciating multiplayer and co-op games in the past year and a bit. So to have a full-player co-op game with a lot of cool characters who all have unique abilities and fun little banter, and then my friends and I, we can have fun little banter, and there's vampires and stuff.
Redfall.
So excited.
Vampire with friends.
Machine guns that fire stakes.
Yes. I mean, what else are you going to use?
What else do you want?
Like, really? Like, honestly.
Nothing else in life.
And now the sun's, like, being vanquished, I guess. But, whoa, I guess we'll have to try and fix that.
Yeah.
And another one. I don't really do the outdoors very much. I go camping sometimes.
What's that?
Huh?
It's, you know how we're indoors? It's the opposite of that.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
But Riders Republic.
Oh.
So cool. I
wasn't expecting this.
It's a little secret interest of mine is extreme sports. I love seeing like those Red Bull athletes do their thing. Like they have the hang gliders and they're snowboarding, the backflips off houses and stuff. So cool. So to be able to do that in a video game sense, and I get to wear like a really goofy costume
in 4K.
In 4K,
Yeah.
There's like 100 other people skateboarding around me, and we've all got like party hats on.
Yep.
It's a dream.
I can see that.
It's a dream.
It's the old Tony Hawk's and skating.
Yeah.
I feel you.
It's being able to it's a fantasy. Like maybe I could do that stuff in video game. And that's just what I'm hyped about for E3.
I'm hyped about all the broken bones after it comes out with all the kids trying to do the tricks.
And in real life?
Because you know that's going to happen.
Well, it's like when Tony Hawk Pro Skater came out, when I was a kid, and kids like, yeah, I can do that. No, you can't. Surprise. Broke the clavicle.
360,
Actually, I'd just like to quickly wrap up our E3, the hotness that is E3 of 2021 by mentioning that Paul has kindly collected all the stories, but our, top picks from each, different co-host from Zed Games, and has formulated a fantastic article on the Zed Games website, which is zedgamesau.net. You can also head over to the Zed Games Facebook page at ZedGamesAU. It will be posted up there as well. That's where you can find out what all our favorites are, but there's also a link pinned to the top of the Zed Games Facebook page with the E3 event calendar. There is still Steam Next Fest going currently, and I believe that Tenocon, oh my gosh, I can't speak. 2021 is also out as well, and there will also be EA Play Live, which is next Tuesday. So any EA games that you might be hyped for or excited about, including maybe some new basketball games, NBA, so that might be dropped. There might be something going on there. So there are still more announcements throughout the week, and we'll fill you in on all of them next week on Zed Games, because we're cool like that.
And now we will be launching into the review by the lovely Rani for Ratchet Clank Rift Apart.
Ratchet Clank Rift Apart is the 16th installment in the beloved Ratchet & Clank series of video games. It was developed by Insomniac Games and is available exclusively on the PS5, so I'm going to do my best to let you know about the game without making you feel like you're missing out, and if you haven't been able to get your hands on a PlayStation. This is a third-person shooter platformer that follows Ratchet & Clank but also new characters Rivet and Kit. Despite there being a second Lombax character to play, this game is definitely only single player. For now, at least. We never know what will happen. Since we're still only in the first week of release, there are some issues with the game. For example, I was following one character as a part of a mission, but at times this character would stop somewhere unrelated and not continue even though all of my tasks had been completed. Because there lacked objective markers, on-screen cues for where to go, it made it kind of difficult to progress in the first couple of hours. I ran into some issues with invisible walls and clipping as well. Some of the enemies would clip through platforms and you couldn't quite hit them or anything like that. Some were resolved by making sure my settings were set to performance with ray tracing or performance RT in the actual settings of the game. Thank you, Paul, for that suggestion. Mostly, I've been finding the balanced mode kind of difficult. That being said, there are about 6 difficulty modes, and I might start a new game on the easiest mode, where you literally can't die in combat, and there's a lot of combat, and just cruise through. Story-wise, I don't want to give too much away, but if you're familiar with the games, the first part of the tutorial will seem a bit nostalgic. If you're not familiar with the games, you'll get a very quick rundown of everything our favorite heroes Ratchet and Clank have been through, including the fact that in his dimension, he is the only remaining Lombax. This is what incites Clank to build the first Dimensionator. He wants Ratchet to have an opportunity to find his people, which, as we all know, because it's a video game, will undoubtedly fall into the hands of the evil Dr. Nefarious. Enter Rivet's dimension. Rivet is, for all intents and purposes, Ratchet's dimensional counterpart. She's also the only Lombax in her dimension. Throughout the story, you will switch between the two in order to complete tasks on different worlds. You have to complete missions individually as Ratchet or Rivet, depending on what you're doing. They share all of their weapons, upgrades, and currency, so you won't have to learn 2 different playstyles. They just have 2 separate storylines with the same goal, and you alternate between them for different missions. And that goal is to take down Dr. and Emperor Nefarious. Yeah, there's 2 of them now. Look, I stayed up all night playing this game. It can be infuriating sometimes with where certain boundaries are, or how many enemies you have to fight, or how difficult sometimes the enemies are. Switching between weapons, not always the smoothest either. But I've been enjoying it. I do often feel like I'm going from boss battle to boss battle though. I also find movement a bit tricky. Anytime we're doing something speedy, I always am falling off ledges or having to restart that specific challenge multiple times. But that might be because I'm used to the precision of a keyboard and mouse. I don't play on the PlayStation that often. I think the game is beautiful, and there have been some amazing additions to the characters that I've come to know and love growing up. But I've got some accessibility gripes and compliments. I'll start with the compliment. Firstly, there is an entire menu dedicated to motion sickness, which is amazing. But the world itself can get a bit muddled. The game severely lacks visual cues for enemies, paths, objectives, things that you can pick up. It is difficult as a hard of hearing player with cognitive impairments, and I imagine people with vision impairments might find the blended colors a bit challenging because even I did. I will note that once I collected the second collectible golden bolt, I was able to change the bolt currency to orbs, which were far easier to see. But unfortunately, that was after hours of gameplay already, and it's not in the standard menu settings. I'd like to see that changed. Another point is subtitles. They're okay, but not all of them pop up, which is quite frustrating. I would recognize that characters were speaking, but I wouldn't be able to see the subtitles. They weren't there. And I'd set them to make sure they were visible for myself because there was plenty of subtitle customization settings, which was really nice to see. Overall though, I'm really enjoying the game. I still haven't finished. There's about 15 hours of gameplay for the main story, but there are plenty of opportunities to get sidetracked in mini-games and collecting achievements. Just remember, you will run into boundaries and invisible walls. It's a PG-rated game. It was designed with children in mind, and that's why I think there are 6 different difficulty levels. For kids, for parents, for adults who grew up playing Ratchet and Clank and are now playing them like me. It's a good game. It's got good story, and if you have a PlayStation and you're able to get your hands on it, it is pretty expensive. I would highly recommend doing that because I'm having so much fun despite the challenges that I'm running into. Also, my preferred method of combat is to hit things with the wrench or Rivet's hammer rather than shooting things. The list of stuff, like of weapons that you can have, is spectacular. I have 2 pages of weapons to flip through right now, and that's not even all of them. So there's a lot. There is so much going on with this game, and I imagine we'll see some amazing patches in the next couple of weeks that fix those initial issues. But if anybody wants someone who can break their game, I will do it because I am good at it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for that wonderful review, Rani. I played Ratchet Clank Rift Apart yesterday, as Toby can attest. And good game. Good game. Very much enjoyed it.
So much.
So many games!
Head explode!
It's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff.
One might say it's been a bit of a hectic night, hectic week.
It's just madness.
There's been mad in here. Thanks for keeping with us.
Yeah. It's been fun. Fun is the word I'm going with tonight because there's another F word I can think of.
We're all aboard the hype train. We're all aboard the hype train.
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, check out our podcast on Spotify.
Or follow us on social media at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.